Hey, y'all, and happy Friday to you. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm so glad that you came to hang out with me for my last lesson of 2024. On last Friday, I shared part one of this series, Your Eyes Are Not Wise, so please check it out if you haven't done so. We're going to build for the last time today. I'll close this series out with the lesson entitled, Get Her and Keep Her. You ready? Let's jump right in. Last Friday, I shared how we make decisions with our eyes and brain power. And it's usually not until our life is turned upside down that we actually ask God for help. But asking God for wisdom up front will save us time and tears, a whole lot of them. Wisdom is defined as having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. It is the ability to make sound decisions. But as humans, our wisdom will always fall short independently of God. Why? Because we don't know everything. Our experiences are limited, and our little bit of good judgment, it will depend on the day and the circumstance. We're flawed, and our flesh will always want to take over. But our flesh isn't wise, neither are our feelings. So if having wisdom is crucial to our existence, and it is, where do we even get it from, or do we just figure out life as we go by trial and error? Not at all. The good news is that God has already taken care of that before the foundation of the world, because he knew that we would be incapable of navigating our time here on earth by ourselves. But it all starts with humility and having a deep respect for God. We have to admit to him and to ourselves as well that we have no clue how to live life without it. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6, the NIV translation states, "For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding." So why do we even need God's wisdom? It's because we don't know everything. We tend to make decisions with our eyes and the little bit of knowledge that we do have. Now, if it feels good, sounds good, if they look good, if everybody else is doing it, then that's all we need to know. We don't even take time to do our own research, weigh the pros and cons, much less get God involved. The enemy has tricked us into believing that we really don't need God's input for everything. I mean, after all, aren't we grown? And that, my friends, though, is how he deceived Eve and so many others in the Bible. And he's still using that same playbook today, a little bit of truth mixed with a whole lot of lies. The worst thing we can do as believers is to think we can function independent of God, because we can't. It doesn't make you weak to admit that you need God every step of the way. It makes you wise. And I think I'll say that one more time for the people in the back. It doesn't make you weak at all to admit that you need God every step of the way. It makes you wise. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7, the CEB translation states, "Wisdom begins with the fear of the Lord, but fools despise wisdom and instruction." Solomon, the wisest king to ever live, can attest that asking God for wisdom and actually using it caused him to live a blessed and prosperous life. He didn't want for anything. There's things that he didn't even ask for that God just lavishly poured on him. But once he got sidetracked and started using his own wisdom, it led him down a path of idolatry and away from God. Towards the end of his life, though, he realized that his wisdom was useless. He ended up chasing something that he never caught, and he concluded that it is best to stick with God and do it his way. He wrote most of Proverbs, and in chapters 3, 4, and 8, he wrote about how important God's wisdom is. He called wisdom her when he was speaking to his sons about it, and maybe he just wanted to signify how significant wisdom is. Like, sons, listen up, you really need this information because it is not optional. And I encourage you to read those chapters in your spare time, but what I will do is highlight some benefits of God's wisdom from those chapters and why it's super, super important. Proverbs chapter 3 highlights wisdom as, "She is more precious than rubies, nothing you desire can compare with her. In her right hand is a long life, in her left are wealth and honor. Her ways are pleasant, all her paths are peaceful. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her." Proverbs chapter 4, it speaks to what happens when we use God's wisdom. "She will protect you. Love her and she will guard you. If you prize wisdom, she will make you great. Embrace her and she will honor you." Proverbs chapter 8 gives you some attributes of wisdom. "I, wisdom, live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. The Lord formed me from the beginning before he created anything else. With me are riches and honor, enduring wealth and prosperity. Whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. As followers of Christ, His wisdom is not an option. That's why consulting God first about everything and praying before we do anything, it is super, super important because life is spiritual. There is more to this than meets the eye, and the kingdom of light operates differently from the kingdom of darkness. So staying close to God and applying His wisdom will keep us a step ahead of anything that the devil is up to. Do you know why we'll always need God's wisdom? It's because we've never been this way before, but He has. We don't know what tomorrow will bring, but He does. Nor are we even smart enough to withstand these evil days in our own strength, but His strength is perfect. God has already given us everything that pertains to life and godliness, including wisdom, discernment, judgment, understanding. We are without excuse for walking aimlessly in life with no sense of purpose or direction. Everything and anything that we will ever need is found in Him. He is a one-stop shop. We don't have to search a million different places or look to people to give us what we need. And the devil's just hoping that we never realize that and keep taking matters into our own hands. So let me close with this. I know that we're right on the cusp of a brand new year. 2025 is less than 2 weeks away. Hard to believe that. There's a lot of excitement around celebrating the new year. It always is. But the turning of the hands on a clock, the changing of the year on a calendar, it does not bring God's wisdom with it. And trust me, you are going to need God's wisdom, not only going into 2025, but for the rest of the time that you're here on this earth. If you want to endure all that's going on in this world, get through each day, fight strategically to win, and recognize the subtle tricks of the enemy, God's wisdom cannot be an afterthought. And what I love about it is that you can get as much of His wisdom as you need because He has an unlimited supply. According to James 1:5, you are not bothering Him if you keep asking for it. And I've made up my mind to live the rest of my life saying, God, I won't know if you don't teach me. I won't know what to do if you don't show me. And I will be lost if you don't lead me. Because I have relied on my wisdom long enough to know that it is not worth anything. God's wisdom is the only wisdom that I will ever need. There's a famous tagline that American Express came up with in 1975 concerning their credit card, which says, don't leave home without it. And I say when it comes to God's wisdom, y'all, let's not live life without it because God's wisdom is vital to our existence, our sanity, our purpose. It preserves our very life. His wisdom is the principal thing, so get her and keep her. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. If you're new, then welcome. I'm so glad to have you. And if you keep showing up to support me, I am truly grateful. If you have not subscribed yet, then please consider doing so. I would love for you to join our family. So friends, this is going to be my final lesson of 2024. I cannot even believe this year is almost over. Any support that you have given me this year, I cannot say thank you enough for stopping by my channel and giving me a few moments out of your day. That means everything to me. So please accept this virtual hug. If I could hug you in real life, I would. I will be taking a break from my platforms for a few months to recharge. You can still, though, visit my website. I'll put that link below, and also feel free to catch up on the 100+ videos that I have here on YouTube. I do plan to come back to this channel mid-April, and I look forward to chatting with you then. But before I end the video today, I do want to leave you with a little bit of encouragement. And I know we're embarking on a new year. There's a lot of excitement, but there's also a lot of uncertainty. But no matter what happens, who comes, who goes, we have to remember that God has supreme authority. He has no rival, He has no equal, and no one will ever be able to stand against Him. So as long as you're loyal to God, you will never have to worry about a thing because He is faithful to His own. So keep serving Him, stay committed to the cause of Christ, and God will see to it that you always prosper and come out on top. I love you guys. I appreciate you more than I can say, and I'm praying God's best for you today and always. Until my return in April, please remember that you matter. In Christ, you are enough. You are never alone, and most importantly, you are eternally and unconditionally loved. And I hope to see you mid-April. Take care, guys.